Hi. Sorry. I'm having some technical difficulties this morning, but good morning. Good morning. Hi. My name is Carly Bell, and I love to do machine embroidery tutorials. And I'm running a few minutes late today, so I'm sorry. And then I couldn't get my picture up. But once every month, I like to get together and do a live tutorial from start to finish with you that we call Sip and Stitch. So have your beverage of choice. I have my coffee. We used to do this at nighttime, so the Sip and Stitch went a lot better with the alcoholic beverage, but we're morning people now, so we have our coffee. So good morning, good morning. I hope you are all having a great Friday and a wonderful May-cember. If you are a mom in the month of May, things are crazy. And today is one of those crazy days. So I have two daughters and they got out of school yesterday. So, of course, 15 minutes before I was supposed to start my tutorial with y'all, my youngest daughter woke up and was like, I need breakfast right now. So I had to go quickly run and make her some breakfast, and which is why I'm a little bit late. So good morning. I just want to say hi to everyone in the chat. I see Caddy is here saying, thanks for doing a video on the PE 800. I am here for you. This was my first machine. And I know when I first started, it seemed like all the tutorials that were out there were all on multi-needle machines. And so I'm a visual person. I like to see things done. Um, and I love being able to do tutorials for y'all on a flatbed machine. I do have several machines now. So whenever I do tutorials, I switch up the machines. So every month we'll use a different machine. Today is going to be the PE 800. And like I mentioned, my girls are out of school for the summer as of yesterday. So I actually take off the months of June and July, and I'll be back in August for our monthly Sip and Stitch. When I come back in August, we'll be doing my larger flatbed machine. That's a Brother Stellaire. And then I also have two free arm machines. So we kind of mix things up so that you could see a little bit of everything. But almost all of the projects that I make can be done on any embroidery machine. So for instance, today's project, any embroidery machine, even as small as a 4x4 hoop, we have an option for you. So hi Dee, hey Norma, Sharon, I see Trish is here, Star, Elsa, good morning, good morning. Thanks so much for joining me. Okay, sorry, I'm a little crazy because I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off a second ago. But excited to be here. This month's tutorial is really fun and special because I made something for y'all. And y'all can go download this design for free. So I wanted to tell you all about that. And I'll get to that in a second. But does anyone notice this beautiful quilt that you can't see all of it here hanging behind me? This is the sew along that we have been working on since I think the middle of April. And it's the Star Spangled Banner ladder quilt from Kimberbell. And I've been going live about 2 to 3 times a week since the middle of April. And we've been making like 2 of these blocks per class. Now, each of these blocks are made on the embroidery machine. So it's an in the hoop quilt block project, and it's really fun. And what we did yesterday for this live was we sewed all of the pieces together with my sewing machine. So I have it hanging up here to admire, and it's so pretty. So this was a process yesterday. I had some mistakes, some boo-boos, but we fixed them. And I think it came out really cute. It's still not finished yet, though. We still have borders and add the backing. So it's going to get a really pretty fabric for the backing and binding. And the binding on this one's really special. I'm nervous, but I'm just going for it because I haven't done it before, but a lot of people probably haven't. We're going to do a scalloped binding on the top and the bottom. So it's going to be fun. If you would like to participate, it's free. It's on YouTube. And I have a whole page dedicated on my website to it to give you all the info. All right, so let's get into today's project. I had this idea for a while, and I see them on Etsy, and I've seen them at Disney World, but what we're doing is an in the hoop project today. And basically it's an in the hoop frame. okay? And we are going to customize it to our liking. So your personal preference, whatever you want to do. So in my first test stitch, I made the frame into a stroller sign. So if you've ever been to Disney World before, there is a sea of strollers, a sea of black strollers mostly, that when you go on a ride, you park your stroller somewhere and then you get off the ride and you look for your stroller and it's not there anymore because the people that work at Disney World move it to a different place. And so then you're on the hunt for your stroller. So I have seen these at Disney World and I thought they were precious. And they are signs that you just use some ribbon and tie it around the handlebars of your stroller. And so this will help you spot your stroller from a distance and be able to like, oh, yes, this one's ours. So I thought this was super cute and we could make this. Now, what I have for you to go download for free is the frame. So we see the frame here and the little like buttonhole pieces that you can put ribbon through. And you see I finished the back with fabric. This is the free download that I have for you. Oops, I keep forgetting to turn my phone off. I'm sorry. And then my stepmom's calling me. She called me yesterday during my live too. She just knows when I'm live. Okay, let me do this. Sorry about that. All right, so what I have for you as a free download today is the frame. And it comes in 4 different sizes. It comes in as small as a 4x4 hoop. I have a 5x7 option. That's what we're going to make today on the PE 800. There's a 6x10 option, and then this is the largest. This is the 8x12 option. So this is one way to do it, and I'm going to go with you through this step by step. And you can see that I've customized it. I used Embrilliance Essentials to add an applique that I stole from another design that I had already, and then an embroidery font and made it say what I want. Okay, so this is one example. Now, something else that you can do with this, instead of it being a sign, and now it doesn't have to be a stroller sign, this would be super cute as a door hanger as well for a nursery or a kid's room, or even your craft room. You could write, Carly's craft room, do not enter, do not disturb. We can put those kinds of things on there. So multiple uses. Now, this is straightforward. Everything I'm going to show you today, you'll be able to finish this, but I'm going to take it a step extra with our tutorial today and add more ribbon, but the ribbon hanging from the bottom, and it will be a bow holder. So I had something like this when my girls were little, where you just take some wide ribbon and we're going to incorporate it when we're stitching it, and it's going to hang from the bottom, and you can put as many strips as you want, whatever width ribbon that you want, and you would clip the little bows to it, and then you can hang it from a doorknob or a hook, and on the wall, on the closet, whatever, and you can clip all of the little bows to it. So lots of fun things that we can do with just this one design. So what we're going to go over today is I'm going to show you where to get the design for free. I'm going to go over all the supplies that I'm using for this, and I have links to all the supplies. I'm going to show you that on my Sip and Stitch homepage. Then we are going to stitch out the 5x7 version on my PE 800 with the ribbon coming off of it, so you can see it as a bow holder. Okay, so any questions, please type them in the comments on either YouTube or Facebook, wherever you're watching from. I'm going to do my best to answer, but I do miss them because my eyes are all over the place and I can't watch the screen. But there is going to be points where I'm going to stop and say, if you have any questions, and if you typed something earlier and I missed it, just type it again for me, please, so that I can make sure I answer everything. And then we have lots of friends here that have been, watch out, watch the camera. Sorry. Elise is here.
Where's your chair?
Where's my chair? It's over there. Okay. You're going to chill while I stitch?
Yeah.
Okay. I sent out an email newsletter yesterday telling everybody about today's class. And Elise had a birthday this past week. So I posted a picture of her and her birthday cake. And I said, forewarning, all of my videos from this point forward, she is going to barge in here at some point because that's what she does. Okay, I can't. Oh, it's coming. Okay, there you go. All right, go sit. Let me talk. So she's my little assistant. She helped me yesterday with some of the blocks for the quilt. And I'm sure she's going to help us with something today. All right, so you're my manager. There we go. All right, let's see. Oh, I like this. Amy says we can make a smaller one with thinner ribbon and use our sewing clips and clip them to them. I love that idea. Love that. Love that.
Are people
Super cute.
doing what you're doing?
Some people are, yeah. So some people you can stitch along live with us, but the replay of this live will be saved on my YouTube channel. So you can come back and rewatch it whenever you're ready. Thank you, Star. Star said, happy birthday, Elise.
Thank you.
She said, thank you.
They
Okay.
can hear me.
Huh? You have to be close to a microphone for them to hear you.
Oh.
So I don't know how good I got a new microphone. I'm still testing it to see how good it works. Huh? A furry microphone, yes. Oh, and the alpha clips, yeah, like the little quilting clips with the alphabet or the numbers on them to label your quilt blocks. That's going to be cute.
What?
All right. People are just coming up with other ideas that they can clip to. Because it's a ladder quilt. So
that's almost as tall as me.
It is. It is. It's almost as tall as me. It's meant to be hung from a ladder. So it's skinny and tall.
Well, we don't have a ladder.
I'm going to buy one. We don't have a ladder, she says.
Can you buy my cat's stick with it?
I will try. I will try. Okay, so let's get into, first let me show you where to get the free download. So we're going to change views so y'all can see my website. So one of the first links you should see, now that I'm thinking about it, I can't remember where it is exactly, but you should see a link somewhere that says the Sip and Stitch homepage. And that is going to bring you to my website. And this page on my website is dedicated to all of my Sip and Stitches. And what I do is I update it for every new one. So the newest one will be at the top. So if you're watching the replay, then you might not see this one at the top. However, here, and I should have another spot, you can see all my past projects. So I make a blog post for them after we finish the video. So then you can go to a page that's dedicated to that particular project.
Mama.
Yes, Elise.
Can I stay long if I sit right there and be quiet?
Yes. Okay, so here is today's project. And here is the supply list. So right here at the very top, free embroidery design download. So if you click on this, it's going to bring you to this form and you just put your name and your email and it is automatically going to email you the download for this frame file. Like I said, it's just the frame. You are going to use your own fonts and embroidery designs to decorate it, personalize it. But I'm going to go over and teach you how to do that today. Hi, Stacy.
Hi.
Hi. Ely says hi. Okay, so that is where you get the free design. Now, everything else that I'm using today, I think I forgot to put ribbon. We need to add ribbon to this list. But these are all the supplies that I'm using. And then today, I got several versions of this design. The one I'm going to do today, I went ahead and linked the design and the font that I'm using in case you want to create something very similar to what I'm going to show you to make today. But the couple of things that you might not have already. So you're going to use your fabric of choice for the front and the back. But two things that you may not own already is what we call foam of some sort, some kind of foam interfacing. So Pellon makes one that's called Flex Foam, and Kimberbell makes one called Flexi Foam. So I have this link to Amazon for you. And then the stabilizer we're using today, I prefer a woven wash away stabilizer. However, you can use tear away if you just want to go through the project and try it out and you don't have wash away, try tear away. I'm going to show you why I like the wash away better. Hold on. After I'm done this video. Okay.
How long is the video? Is it really
About
long?
2 hours. It's a long time, yes. All right. And then the foam, I like the foam the best, but some other options would be maybe like a layer or two of batting, like quilt batting. The reason why I'm using these things is it helps give it a little bit more structure. Okay. So let's look at those supplies. Let's see. I don't know how this camera looks right now. Let's zoom in a little. Okay. So here is my first sample that I made. And if you can see, it's got some thickness to it. And that is because I'm using this foam. So Pellon makes a few different versions of this. They make some that is, it just says sewable. This one has one side of it is fusible. So it has some sort of adhesive on it so you can iron it onto the back of fabric. This is great for bag making. And then they have a two-sided fusible. Any of these are going to work. We're not using the fusible option that can come with it, but I am using it in between my two layers of fabric and stabilizer. Okay.
Oh, that's cushiony.
Yeah, this is the cushion. Okay.
Cushiony.
And then wash away. Now, some of you might instinctively think when I say wash away, I mean water, what I call water soluble topper. And topper is going to look like the clear saran wrap stuff, not this. This is not strong enough to do the project. So if you want to make this project and you don't have woven wash away, you can substitute with tear away. All right. So this is not going to be strong enough for you. You are going to want a woven wash away. So this still dissolves with water, but it's a lot tougher. And we're actually going to use 2 layers of it in the hoop to make sure that it's nice and strong. Okay. And so this will dissolve with water when we're done. And when it's dissolved with water, when it's done, you see no remnants of stabilizer in this satin stitching on the side here. You're not going to see any of it. If you use tear away, you may see some little pieces of white poking out of your satin stitching. Some things that I've seen people use to conquer or like get rid of that is take a lighter, an open flame, and go along the edge with it, and that kind of burns up the tear away and shrinks it to go back in. But like I said, the wash away is my stabilizer of choice. Yes. And tear away is a good backup option.
I'm making bubbles.
Okay. You said you were going to go sit and be quiet.
But I don't know. Can I sit right here?
No, you can't sit right here. I have to work right here. Okay. So other than that, ribbon, if you're doing applique, you're going to need applique fabric. I like to put Heat and Bond Light on the back of all of my applique fabric. You're going to probably want some kind of embroidery font. You can literally put anything you want on this. You can put just a name. You can put a monogram. You can put cute little embroidery designs all over it. So that's what we're going to go over next in using Embrilliance Essentials. So any questions about supplies? Oh, there's one more thing I'm forgetting. And I forgot to put it on my list too. Something else that I like to help. I used it on this one because I really wanted to make sure I didn't have any puckering of these like big satin stitches in my fabric. You have to have headphones. Sorry. And go check on Ozzy, please. So something when I'm doing these kinds of projects on a woven cotton where puckering can happen, and I learned this actually from making those quilt blocks. Something we do with all of our fabric when we make the quilt blocks that get embroidered on is we interface it with Pellon. Go close the door and go take care of the dog, please.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you. We interface the fabric with Pellon SF 101. So this is something I did forget to add to my supply list. So I'll try to remember to go add a link to this after to the Sip and Stitch homepage. But I use so much of this, I ended up buying a bolt, and look, it's almost empty now after doing that quilt that you saw behind me. I think this will really help your front fabric stay nice and kind of stiff. It gives it a little bit more structure and prevents any puckering that's happening. The dog is not crying for fun. Does he want to sit on the sofa? No.
He always jumps down when I put him there.
Okay. I don't know what he wants either. It's always a game to play. Why is Ozzy crying? What does he want? Okay. So, like I said, any questions about supplies? Let me know.
It's loading.
Okay.
It's not working.
Let's see. Michelle was saying, I was looking for a file for the bridal bouquet wrap. I downloaded your file and had thought I could use this file with a softer batting. Don't you think? Yes, you can definitely use a batting. And you're going to see when we go through the steps for this, we're adding the foam and the batting after all of this is stitched. So that's also going to prevent, it's not going to give you that real quilted look. If you are looking for more of the quilted look, then we can change the steps up and you add the batting before you stitch all this. I wanted a real nice smooth front, and I didn't want this to sink in to my foam or my batting. So that's going to be another personal preference on how you want the finished item to look. Okay, let's see.
Did it pop?
Okay. Yay, this is cute. So Mary said she might make one that says "Take me out to the ball game," and then you can put like a cute little applique of a baseball. That would be cute. Oh, Star says she likes Soft and Stable by Annie. Is that a interfacing type product, Star? I know of it, but I can't tell you exactly what it is. I know I've heard the name before. Okay. All right, so I don't see any. Oh, this is cute. Elizabeth said she's done one like this before and made the ribbon a loop for a baby sleeping door hanger. That's adorable. We could definitely do that. Okay. Soft and Stable is a foam. Okay, thank you, Joanna. So that's going to be a substitute for the flex foam. Got it. But it's not fusible. Yeah, so we don't need fusible. Okay, Tina asks, does it come in more than one size? Yes. So the frame that I'm giving you comes in 4 different sizes, as little as 4x4, 5x7, 6x10, 8x12. So you'll get all 4 sizes in several embroidery formats so that you can send it to any embroidery machine. So let's go to Embrilliance now and let me show you how we're going to put this together.
Do I have a job yet?
Not yet. I'll tell you when you have a job. Okay, so this is my goal of what I want to make today. And I made it ahead of time. Oh, I need a USB stick. I just thought about that. Got one. Okay, so this is what I want to make today. But I'm going to restart and start over, and so you can see me make it from the beginning. Okay, now the bow floral kind of sash design here I got off of Etsy, and I linked it on the Sip and Stitch homepage. Where did it go? Over here. Okay, so right here, this floral bow design, that's going to take you to the Etsy shop where I bought it from. And actually her example shows it on a kind of bow holder design similar to what we're making today. So that's where you can get the link for that. And then the monogram font I'm using is Carson. I originally bought it back when it was from Itch to Stitch, but Designs by Juju, I think, bought out Itch to Stitch. And so it's on her website now, but it's the Carson monogram font. Okay, so all of that is linked for you on the Sip and Stitch homepage. Okay, so that's the font and that's the design. And then the frame bit that you're seeing, that's the part that I am giving you. So let's now start from the beginning. So let me go find what you're going to see when you download my design. Okay. So when you go and get the free download, you're going to get a zipped file. Okay. And then depending on your computer, with a Mac, I just double click it and it unzips it. On a Windows computer, you may need to right click it and a window will come up and they should have something that says extract all. And then that will open up a new folder where you can actually access all the designs. You're not going to be able to open up a zipped file in Embrilliance. Okay. Hey, Kristen. It's my friends here. Kiki's on Facebook watching.
But her name is Kristen?
Yeah, her real name's Kristen. You call her Kiki. Okay.
Why?
Because. So
is that like
that's her nickname. Yes. Okay. So this is what you should see after you unzip your file. And you will see you have the 4 different sizes. Okay. I did not make PDF instructions for this. However, after this video is over, I'm going to make a blog post on my website that is going to give you step-by-step instructions. Okay. So this is something I do after I make my videos. I'm able to like pull out the step-by-step instructions and then I'll make a blog post for it. Okay. So you won't see PDF instructions in here, but after this video is done, I will probably email everyone that downloaded it and tell y'all when the blog post is ready. Okay. Because I know people like something written in front of them as well. Now for today, we are going to do the 5x7. So when you open up the 5x7, you should see all of the embroidery formats. There is also a color chart that breaks down the steps. So this is a PDF that just shows you the steps, but not the instructions. Okay. So open up your format of choice. Okay. And there is our frame. And I am going to rotate my hoop by double clicking down here in the status bar. And I'm going to change my stuff to, I go back and forth here depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes I like to see things in millimeters. Sometimes I like to see things in inches. So this shows you the actual hoop size here. Okay. So now that we have our frame, let me break it down for you and show you what all the steps are. Because when you personalize this, you're going to have to reorder things. Okay. The first step is a placement stitch. So we're going to stitch this directly on the stabilizer. This is going to show you where to put your first piece of fabric. Okay. The next stitch is your tack down stitch, and it's doing exactly what it says. It's going to tack down your fabric, your front fabric. Okay. Now, after step number 2 is where you are going to want to have your personalization follow. You should stitch the first 2 steps. And then you should come in with your monogram, your font, your design, all of those things you want to be after step number 2. Okay. So we stitch all our personalization. Then there are 2 more, like all 4 of these steps look exactly the same. This one's slightly different in that it's smaller, but they're literally all the same shape and just a running stitch. Okay. So we've placement for our fabric, tack down for our fabric. This guy is tack down for your foam or your batting. Okay. So remember how we were talking a second ago where someone was asking about adding soft batting? If you would like a quilted look to your project, then actually stitch steps 1, 2, and 3, and then add your personalization. Okay. So this is all going to depend on the finished look you're going for. If you want a nice smooth front with your stitching, then add your personalization after step 2. If you are looking for more of a quilted finish, add your personalization after step 3. Step 3 is where you're going to tack down your batting or your foam. Okay. Then step 4 is where you are going to tack down your back fabric. So both steps 3 and 4 is you adding things to the back of your hoop. You're not adding them to the front. You're adding them to the back. Okay, so that's when I'm going to show you. We're going to flip our hoop over and tape things to the back, either the foam or batting or your back fabric. Once step 4 is done, that is when I go and trim everything. So I will trim my front fabric so that it's now like an applique and fits the shape. Actually, I will trim my batting right after I stitch it, my foam, stitch that, trim it, then add the back, trim it. Okay, so it's like almost like 3 pieces of applique what we're doing. And then the final steps are the satin stitch that goes all the way around, and then your buttonhole type design. This is where we're going to use a seam ripper and cut those little slits open, and that will allow you to put ribbon through. This is an optional step. If you don't like the look of the buttonholes, you cannot stitch this step, and you can incorporate your ribbon into the design like we're going to do the pieces hanging underneath. You can incorporate a loop up here so that you can not have these buttonholes. Okay, so I wanted to point that out to you. This is optional depending on the look that you're going for. Okay, Vicky says, could you do steps 1 and 2, add the design, and then do step 3? Exactly. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. All right. So now that we've gone over what each of these steps mean, now let's add our personalization. Okay. I want to add that wreath design that I bought. And I still haven't moved it to my embroidery designs yet. So it's still in my downloads folder. So here it came as a zipped file. I unzipped it. And I'm trying to remember what size I used. I think I used the 4-inch. So what I'm going to do is click it, drag, and drop. Okay. There is other options that you can use to, what we're doing here is we're merging a design. So if I would have just, where are we? Here it is. Okay. If I would have just double clicked to this, it would open up in a new hoop, but I want it to be with my frame. So I like the drag and drop method. Okay. I'm going to delete it and show you the other way, because sometimes Windows computers don't like drag and drop. I have learned. The other way to merge a design is this button up here, merge a stitch file. Okay, click that. That's going to open up a navigation similar to your window, your files and folders. And so I need to go to downloads in my case. Oh goodness, this is in alphabetical order, so it's going to be not fun to find. This is why I like drag and drop. It was floral, right? FL, here we go, floral bow, 4-inch. So there it is. And then it really doesn't matter which format you choose. I like to choose PES because I always find the colors look right, where like DST, it looks crazy because it doesn't have any color memory with DST files. So I always tend to pick PES, but you can pick whatever format and then hit import. And now it's there. So if you are brand new to Embrilliance and Embrilliance Essentials specifically, that's the software I always recommend all of my beginners to get. I have a full course online teaching you step by step what all of the tools and functions and how to navigate Embrilliance Essentials. I also recently came out with another course because Embrilliance has several programs. Essentials is the one that I recommend beginners to buy. Once you get a handle on Essentials and you want some more advanced features, like this button here is my individual stitch editor, and there's some other really good features here that come with Enthusiast. That's an advanced editing software that's like an add-on to Essentials. I just made a full course for enthusiasts as well. And so when you go to my website, if you go here to shop, you can see my courses. So this is the Essentials course, and this one's the Enthusiast course. I also have a course teaching you how to use your embroidery machine if you're absolutely brand new to embroidery. And then I have a few other things like my VIP membership group. Ooh, I need to show you all the project for this month. I need to remind myself. I have a monthly membership group, And this is like a little mini course teaching you how to design, how to organize your embroidery design. So I just wanted to put all that out there in case you're new to embroidery or Embrilliance. All right, now that we've got our bow here, what I'm going to do is just click and drag and move this down. So I'm kind of like, I'm looking at the bottom of the bow, and this worked out beautifully with this frame. Like when I saw this, I'm like, oh, that's perfect. So there are lots of other cute little sashes that are out there. Some are just more like open bottom of a circle, but I loved the wave in this one that went with my frame perfectly. So I have that guy there. Now I'm going to add my monogram, but let's see, Sharon had a question real quick. Can you show me how to change the hoop size? Okay, yay, and you signed up for my course. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, so to change your hoop size, so I can see what hoop I have open. Elise, can you go put Ozzy in Abigail's bed, please? Please. Oh, now she cries. It's either the dog crying or Elise is crying. Okay, sorry about that. So at the bottom of the status bar here, you can see what hoop size you have open. If you want to change this, go to the preference window up here in your toolbar. And here under hoops, you pick the format that matches your machine. So I use a Brother, so I got PES. This has a bunch of hoop sizes, okay? And normally they are all in millimeters. A 5x7 is 130 by 180. If your brain does not think in millimeters, you can edit it and change the size, change the name that you see. I'm not changing the size. The size is still there, but I changed the name so that I can spot it easier. So like I changed my 5x7 and 6x10. I have not changed my 4x4. Let's go edit that one while we're here. 4 times 4. And then hit OK. So now I can scope those out better. But that's where you change your hoop and hit apply and OK. And normally it comes out in the vertical up and down position. If you want to make it go in the horizontal orientation, your options are to either click this rotate 90 button and hit OK, or if you double click where you see your size hoop down here, it will change the orientation. So that's kind of like a little shortcut. All right, hope that helps you, Sharon. Okay. All right. Angela says she is new to embroidery. Which course should she start with? So if you are brand new, I highly recommend my From Start to Stitch course. This is going to teach you the anatomy of your machine, all the basics, like even how to thread your needle and wind a bobbin. Now, most of what the course teaches are fundamentals that can be applied to any embroidery machine. The first module that goes over the anatomy of a machine, I do use the PE 800 as my demo. However, almost all embroidery machines have the same basic features. They may just tweak, there may be some slight changes on how your particular machine is set up, but it should have all the same basic features. But beyond that, we go over stabilizers, we go over useful tools, we go over how to hoop, placement, applique. Like if you click on this, it will tell you. I got a section that tells you like all the different modules. So hooping specific items, this also goes over placement. We break down like all the different types of embroidery designs and stitches. And then I do have a little intro to software that teaches you a little bit of what's out there, what's available. And then I give some quick tips on using Embrilliance Essentials. And then this is a really good module too, maintenance and troubleshooting, because something always goes wrong. And so I tell you all my steps on how I troubleshoot when something either doesn't stitch right, or your machine locks up, or your thread breaks, or your needle breaks. We go over all of that in here. So I think this is a great place for you to start if you're a beginner. Okay. All right. Now we have our design, our frame, our design. Now we need to add the monogram. So with the monogram, I'm using my lettering tool because one of the things that I love about Embrilliance is that you can buy certain, please go help the dog. Pretty please. Sorry, I'm getting Elise up. Watch the camera. Watch it on trip. Thank you. One of the things that I love about Embrilliance is that
They see you?
no, is that normally with embroidery fonts, each letter of the alphabet comes as a separate file, just like what we saw here for this design. Each letter and each size of that letter comes in its own file, and you have to merge each one of them in. Embrilliance has come up with its own format. So we talked about these are different formats for embroidery machines. Brilliance has its own, sorry, I don't know where Elise went, but she didn't do what I asked her to do. Ow. Okay, sorry, I'm taking care of my dog. Embrilliance has come up with its own format so that you can use your keyboard to enter all of your embroidery files. Embroidery fonts, should I say. And so when you buy a font now, I highly recommend you look and see that it comes in BX format, okay? And when you do get a BX formatted font, you can install it in the software. The software will remember it. And when you hit the lettering tool up here, you have a font drop-down bar, and all of the fonts you've ever installed that are BX format will be here. So isn't that lovely? So I used the Carson monogram font. So here it is. It comes in, when I bought it, it came in 4 different sizes. I didn't look to see. Designs by Juju might offer more. And I'm using a 2-inch one. Okay, so I'm going to click on that. So now it has changed my font. And then under the text area is where you can put your letters. Now, monograms, depending on the style that you're using, typically the first letter is the first initial of the name. The middle and bigger letter is actually the last name initial. And then on the right is your middle name initial. So it goes first, last, middle, initial. So that is the style I'm using, and that's the what's the right word? The order of initials that I'm doing. So I'm making this for my friend's little girl, and her first name is Madden. Now, some monogram fonts like it. Now you'll get information with them. Usually they'll send you some sort of PDF with information when you download those files. Some of them like you to do a lowercase letter for the left and the right initials, and then do a capital letter for the middle. I think this particular font doesn't matter. So I can do M. Her last name starts with an N and her middle name is Rose, and hit enter. So yeah, so I did all lowercase and it still did it. Those vine type monograms that have like the middle initial have all these accents on them, that's when they probably want you to use a capital letter when you're typing it in the text box, and then lowercase letters. And that's how it differentiates the larger accented alphabet versus the smaller, kind of more normal. All right, so there is my monogram. And now I can either use the arrows on my keyboard to move it, or I can pick it up and move it. So I depends on my mood. I'm an eyeball person sometimes, and sometimes I like things to be very precise. And when I'm an eyeball mood, I just pick it up and kind of drop it where I want. When I'm in a very precise mood, that's when I use my arrows on my keyboard. Or if you have enthusiast, you do have precise positioning. And this is something I go over in the enthusiast course on how to use. But I'm going to be in an eyeball mood right now, and have this above my bow, and I'm just looking at the spacing between the buttonhole and the floral down here. So I think that looks good. All right. Now, you can change the colors of things if you want to get a better visual of how you want this design to look. And you can go by clicking on the step. So in my case, like the letters, and go to color. Click on the color chip, and you can pick whatever thread color you want and whatever brand that you want. Okay. If I go to the palette, it will show me all of the colors that are on the hoop right now. So for instance, I like the purple in these flowers. So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to make her initials in purple, and I can make the frame and the buttonholes. And so that's what I've done here. I went and changed the colors to what I'm going to stitch it out as. So this gives me a really nice visual. So you can do that. But once you've changed all your colors, the last thing you want to do is make sure the order of things are right. Okay. So like I said in the beginning, you want to stitch the first 2 steps. In my case, I want the front of my design to be nice and flat and not have so much of a quilted look. So I want to add all of my bow and monogram after step 2. If you want that quilted look, do it after step 3. All right. So I am going to, I have my frame expanded where I could see all the steps. I closed all the steps in the floral bow. And now I'm going to click this, hold the Command or Control key down so I highlight both of them. And I'm going to click them and drag them and drop them right after step 2. So they're blue, they're selected. And I have a blue line now under step 2, and I'm going to let go of my mouse cursor I was pressing. So now I'm going to double check everything. So expand everything. We have steps 1 and 2. Then we're going to stitch the monogram. Then we're going to stitch all the parts of the floral bow. Okay. Then we're going to take the hoop off, turn it over, tape the foam on the back, and stitch this step. And then it will tack down the foam on the back, and then we're going to take it off and trim it. And after we trimmed it, we're going to place the back fabric on the back of the hoop, stitch this step. This will tack it down. We will trim it along with trimming the front. And then we'll stitch the final things. Okay, and remember the buttonholes are optional. So you can just delete those just by pressing backspace or delete on your keyboard, and it will remove them, or just stop stitching after you do the frame on your machine. Okay. Any questions about Embrilliance? That's all I have. I have it in the order that I want. And now I need to plug my USB in my computer. And I'm going to save this as a stitch file. Okay, so I'm going to go to File, Save Stitch File. This is going to allow me to choose where I want to save it and what format I want to save it in. So I have my USB plugged in. I actually named my USB Embroidery. You can do that probably by like, there's a way you can change the name of it, but like, right, I can't do it while I'm in here, but most of the time when I plug in USB sticks, it says no name. So I changed the name to Embroidery. Now I'm going to name my design, and I'm going to name it MNR Bow Holder. Okay. And I'm going to choose what format I want to save it in. I have a Brother machine, so I want to save it as a PES file. And I'm going to hit save. Okay. Then on my Mac computer, what I need to do is open up my Finder, and there's a little eject button next to my embroidery USB stick. And I'm going to eject it. And this is going to safely remove it from my computer. If you're on a Windows, there should be something down here that you can right click and it says eject USB safely. You can do that. All right, so now it is done. We have our design ready to go, and now we're ready to actually start stitching. So let me check the comments now. Any questions about Embrilliance? Okay, Wendy says, does Embrilliance have a center in the toolbar? Yes, it does. And so when you're under the select tool, this is like the sub menu for the select tool. This button right here, if you hover over it, it will say Center Designs in Hoop. So this is your button that you want. Okay, so that is for Wendy. Okay, Debbie, no problem. The replay will be available as soon as the live is over, so you can go back and watch it from the beginning. All right, hi, Jenny. All right, yay, Debbie's here for her first sip and stitch. Thanks so much for joining us. All right, so I don't see any other questions on Essentials or Embrilliance. So now we're going to prepare our hoop and start stitching. And I didn't pick my fabric or my thread yet, so we got to do that too. All right, so all you need to start, and this is one of the reasons why I love in the hoop projects, is your hoop and your stabilizer. All we're doing is hooping the stabilizer. Let's see, I think I'm gonna go this way. I have this big giant roll. Now I want 2 layers of this wash away stabilizer. So what I do is I cut this big roll and I have this piece and I'm gonna fold it in half. Okay, so now I have 2 layers. I'm gonna separate my hoop, have my outer hoop, lay my 2 layers of stabilizer, my inner hoop. If you have brother or baby lock hoops, there's a little arrow at the top of your inner hoop and your outer hoop. So this lets you know that you actually put this in the right way and it's not upside down. So check for that and then tighten it and make sure that your stabilizer is nice and taut and tight and sounds like a drum. Okay. So we're ready to stitch now. So I need to pick fabric. So I made one already with this white fabric. I need more white fabrics that have like cute little, oh look, here's one. I forgot I had this. So this is white fabric, but it has almost like a plaid print to it. This one's pretty. Okay, we're going to use this. And then thread colors. I wanted like a lavender, a pink, or did I want pink? Yeah, pink, purple, mint. Where's my mint? It's over there. And a pretty green. Okay, so this and mint. So let me look back at my picture now. I forgot what I wanted. Okay, we'll do the monogram and the might just do the monogram and this and some of the flowers. The other flowers are pink and the frame itself is pink. And then the bow is mint and the buttonholes are mint. And then this is just for the stems and leaves of the flowers. So this is my color scheme that I'm using in my fabric. Okay. And then I have this ribbon is what we're going to hang below it. All right. So I'm trying to think of what stitches. I think the monogram is going to stitch. We have our 2 placement stitches and then the monogram is going to stitch. So I'm going to load the color of the monogram. So I'm not going to be changing thread colors a whole bunch. Okay, so let's turn the machine on and y'all see the machine. Okay. Let's see. Jerry says she signed up yesterday. She's not received the design. Okay, I'm sorry about that, Jerry. I have you checked your spam folder? Because sometimes it goes in the spam folder. Do that for me. And if you still don't see it, send me an email at support@carlybell.com. Let's see. I don't think I have. I'm making a little sign so you can see it. Okay, so that's my support email. So support@carlybell.com. If you tried to download the free frame design and you didn't get it, then send me an email and I will try to resend it to you. Okay, so I turned my machine on. I can see my bobbin's low. I might go ahead and change it because we got a lot of satin stitching. Okay, I'm going to click my USB. I got my USB plugged in over here on the side. It's going to take a second to think because I probably have way too many things on it. This bobbin is running low. So I'm going to save that for a smaller project and go ahead and get a new bobbin. Drop that in. I always like to pull about 12 inches out. Like I thread the bobbin, run it through the path. I like to pull out like 12 inches before I cut it. This is really going to help set your bobbin tension and make sure that it's right and you won't see white threads poking up on the top. Also, another thing, if you see your white bobbin thread showing on top, you may have your bobbin installed in the wrong direction. It needs to be to where it's like turning counterclockwise. Okay. I have tons of things on here, so it's going to take me a second to scroll through and find the design. And then something happened. The first time this happened to me the other day, one of my USB sticks went kaput. It like I had it in the machine and then I plugged it in my computer and I felt it and it was like hot, 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 hot. And I was like, oh, that's probably not good. And so I unplugged it, let it cool off and everything. And I tried to plug it in a machine or a computer after, it won't even recognize it. I think it burnt up. So that is why we should not keep all of our stuff on USB sticks. I personally like to keep all of my embroidery files on a cloud, actually. I used to have them on my hard drive on my computer, and now I keep everything in like Google Drive or Dropbox or OneDrive, iCloud. Any of those services are great. I found my design. I'm going to hit set. And there it's there. I'm not doing any editing to it on my computer. That's why I use Embrilliance, because this is way too small. Any editing on the machine, I like to do it on the computer. So I'm just hitting end edit embroidery. Now I'm at my screen where I need to be. And I'm going to load my hoop. The PE 800 and I think the 900 too. They have in the 4x4 machines, they have like a peg-like system for adding your hoop. And I don't love it. When you get to larger machines, you get a slide-on hoop. A lot better. And the reason why this peg one, sometimes it's really hard to tell if you have your hoop on there good. So like, look, I lifted it and it popped right off. I'm having trouble today. Okay, now it's on there. Nope, it's not. Why don't you like me today? Okay, maybe because I'm on that side of it. That's the right hoop. This is the only 5x7 hoop I have with a peg. Let me make sure. Do I have another hoop somewhere? Here's my other hoop. Maybe that's not the one that came with the machine. That might be one of the extra ones I got. Let's see. Yeah, that one goes on a lot better. That's why I must have this one picked up in the drawer because it doesn't work good. Okay. Let me fix this and use the right hoop. Okay, I'm just putting my stabilizer in. That's weird though. The one that I actually was playing with, that one looks like the hoop that came with the machine, like the official brother hoop, because you could tell it's a lot more used and has a lot of sticky residue on it. This one's a lot cleaner. So this one makes me think that it's one of those hoop sets that I got from like Sotec. But this one's going on nicely, so I don't know. But you do want to make sure your hoop is on there all the way. And I test it every time by like trying to pop it up from the front and the back. And if it doesn't pop off here, you know it's set. Okay, so that is done. I'm going to load my purple thread. Oh, let me go back and I'm not looking at the comments. Let's see. Alice says she's in P&W. I think that stands for Pacific Northwest. What time do I start? So this live, these once a month sip and stitch tutorials, I start at 10 a.m. Central Time Zone. So 10:30 a.m. What did I say? 10:30 a.m. Central Time. So that would have been what, 8:30 for you? But the whole daylight savings thing messes. It's weird. Someone told me it's not always a 2-hour difference, depending on daylight savings. Okay, so I've threaded my needle. On this machine, I have to make sure I lower the presser foot before I do the automatic needle threader. Okay, that is important. You will mess up your automatic needle threader if your presser foot is not lowered. All right, I'm finally ready to stitch something. I got a green light. I'm going to stitch the placement stitch for the frame. And while that's stitching, I'm going to turn my iron on because I want to interface my fabric. Give it a little extra sturdiness. This is really pretty fabric. I need more of this. I don't even remember where I got this from. Okay, so that is done. I'm going to lift the presser foot. I'm going to take the hoop off because I'm going to use this as a guide on how big of a piece of fabric I need to cut. Okay, so there is my hoop. Let's look and see if the selvage tells me what fabric this is. This is, here we go. Riley Blake. Lights On by Amy Smart. Oh, from Diary of a Quilter. I love her. Okay. Riley Blake from Amy Smart. Pretty, pretty platy, white platy. Is that a word? We're making it a word. Okay. So I am going, this is what I do. I cover up my design. I see like how wide do I need it to be? I need it to be at least that wide. And I need it to be that tall. So I just made some little marks and now I will cut myself out a rectangle. And all my quilting friends, you'll be proud to learn I'm learning about fabric green. I started a quilting class at my local quilt shop here in New Orleans. And we started last night was my second class. And we're just cutting out fabric at this point, but I never thought about fabric green before because normally I do applique, right? I'm doing stuff like this. and I'm cutting out small pieces of fabric. I've never thought about cutting on the grain, especially now with quilting, I'm cutting like long strips and stuff. So I'm learning. I have several ladies that watch me that do the sew along with me that are more seasoned quilters, and they tell me all kinds of good tips. Okay, so I've turned the back of my fabric, and I have scraps of this interfacing, but let's see what I got. I have something here that's can fit. So this is the Pellon SF 101. This is optional. I like that it gives my, what I'm calling my background fabric, a little bit more interfacing so that my stitches don't pucker. Normally stabilizer helps with stitches from puckering. And wash away is surprisingly, able to handle thin stitching. Because I mean, we do this, the wash away stabilizer that we're using for this project is the same stabilizer we use for like freestanding lace. So it can handle it, but I find the fabric just looks a lot better if I interface it for these kinds of projects. Okay, so I cut a piece of the Pellon interfacing, and I'm making sure this is the front of my fabric. And with the Pellon, like one side just looks like woven, but the other side is like bumpy. That's where the adhesive is. So I want to make sure I'm putting the adhesive. It's really hard to tell which side of this fabric is right and not. Okay, we're going to do this. Wrong side of fabric, bumpy adhesive side down. And it's almost the same as putting the Heat and Bond Light on back of applique fabric. It's like a similar process. I cut a piece a smidge smaller and then press it. So Jerry's asking, why am I interfacing it? This is just a personal preference. I find the stitching comes out better when I'm stitching on these woven cottons like this. This is something I do with my quilts, like the one hanging up on my pegboard right now. So all of these pieces of fabric, the background, like the pink, this floral, this teal, all of those pieces of fabric, I put the interfacing on the back, and then we quilted it on, you put batting and then the interfaced fabric and then quilted it, and it just gives it a much nicer, kind of like stiffer look. So again, personal preference, this is what I like. You don't have to do this. Okay, so I have my placement stitch, kind of a little bit hard to see, but I am putting my fabric right on top. Okay, like this. And I have some lines in this fabric. Let me get those lines out. Okay. So you just want to cover up your placement stitch with your fabric of choice. Okay, and that's all you need to do. Now we're going to go back to the machine, and step 2 is to tack it down. Again, making sure my hoop is really on there, not coming up. Okay. No, I don't want to cut. I want to lower my presser foot and stitch step 2, which is just tacking it down. Okay. So Vicki asks, which machine am I using? I am using the Brother PE 800. This is an older model. They now have a newer version called the PE 900. This is a great intro to embroidery machine to get. No, I'm not done. You've been messing with all your sister's skincare and makeup? You know you're going to get in trouble. I thought she was being quiet for way too long. Okay.
It's okay. She just has some really pretty lip glosses. Look at this one. It's just an elf one. Can I get it?
We'll talk about it later. Can you let me finish my class?
I put everything back.
Okay, thank you. All right, let me teach my class, please and thank you. If you're just joining me, my daughter is home from school. She got out yesterday, so she's popping in and out of here the whole class. So we now have our tack down stitch. Now, normally when I'm doing these types of things, I would take this off now and trim it. However, I'm going to wait until later. So we're just going to keep stitching and I'm going to trim this after. I see a little tail of thread right here that I am going to clip. Okay. So next, in my case, is the monogram. And this is why I loaded purple thread first, because I knew this was my first step of stitching that I would actually see the thread color. The placement stitch and this tack down stitch, it doesn't matter what color you stitch it in. Okay, it's going to get covered up with a satin stitch after. So now we will stitch the monogram. This is going to, the monogram in the floral design is going to take a little time, a lot of stitching. So in this case, the monogram is going to take 7 minutes. And then the flower is probably going to take about 10 minutes. So while that is stitching, I can answer questions. One question I want to ask all of you is, how is the background noise with the machine next to me stitching? Do you hear it loudly, or is it kind of hushed out? Because I got a new microphone, and my last microphone did a really good job of kind of pushing out the machine noise. So let me know how this one's doing. Okay. The last one didn't work that great. Like they had moments where it would just like turn off while I was in the middle of the video. Actually, my last sip and stitch, that's what happened. It turned off. So I got a new one, trying it out. Yesterday was a sew along. I only do the sip and stitch. Sip and stitch is once a month, and we make something from start to finish. The sew along, we have a bunch of classes because it's a really big project. So it takes a long time to make it and put it together. She asks me, she's like, do you have a video every day? And I'm like, only for like this week and next week. After that, I'm taking the rest of the summer off. Well, today's Friday, so it's the end of the week now. Next week, I have classes to teach. No, all she's concerned about is her breakfast. I'll tell you what days later, okay? It's not every day. All right. If you wait until I'm done with my class. Okay, I was talking about the PE 800. They have a newer version, PE 900. This is the machine. I got actually an older version of this when I first started embroidery. This is a machine I recommend people to get if they're just starting out. It's a great machine. It has the largest embroidery field is this hoop you see now. So that's the limitation with machines. The more expensive they get, the bigger hoop size you get. So like I have a really expensive Brother Stroller that has a 9.5 by 14 inch embroidery hoop. So you get to do bigger and more types of projects the bigger hoops you have. But if you're just starting out, this is a great machine. And you can do a lot with a 5x7 hoop, actually. All right. Yay. Maureen says she's not here in the machine at all. Wonderful. Yay. Elsa too. Thank y'all. Okay. Okay. So Sharon said she noticed I didn't use any adhesive or pin to hold my fabric. Do I worry about it shifting while it's sewing the tack down? So no, it depends on the project and the fabric. Because I interfaced this fabric, it's nice and stiff, and it did not shift at all. If I am ever worried about something shifting, I do tape it. I have this Kimberbell embroidery tape, or sometime I will use pins and just make sure the pins are outside of the embroidery field. But typically with these kinds of projects and even like a lot of applique, because I will add Heat and Bond Light on the back of my applique fabric. it helps the material be nice and stiff, and it doesn't, I'm not really worried about it moving, because once it gets those few tack down stitches in, it's holding in place. Another thing I like to use is a stiletto. So sometimes if I am worried about something moving, I will hold my stiletto and hold it in place. But that's me being comfortable with it. If you are ever worried about anything moving, by all means, yes, you can use temporary spray adhesive, pins, tape, a stiletto. I even use, in my quilting projects, I use Elmer's school glue to hold my batting down. So lots of choices with that. Okay, so this machine does not cut jump stitches. So you're going to notice between my letters, there's going to be a thread. And I'm going to trim those after. The newer version of this machine, the PE 900, cuts jump stitches, which is a wonderful upgrade to have, because all of the machines that I own, the next biggest one from this one is the Brother Innovis. I have a NQ 1700E. It is kind of like the step up from this one. It has a 6x10 hoop. It cuts jump stitches, and it stitches a little bit faster. But now, you know, one of the things that made me want to upgrade to that machine was the bigger hoop, but also cutting jump stitches. It's a really big deal to me. And now the PE 900 cuts jump stitches, so I think that makes it even better. Yeah, so Angela has the PE 900. It's really a great machine. There are so many things you can make. I got into embroidery when my oldest daughter, who's now about to turn 14, when she was a baby, because I wanted to make her all the cute baby stuff. And this was great for all my baby projects. Bibs, fur cloths. Onesies are a bit of a pain in the butt to do, but you could do them with some, I don't know, but if you're going to do paint markers, you need to have a surface underneath so that you don't get paint on things. I'd rather you not do that right now.
Can I do
please?
It
You can. What thick paper? I'm sorry, Elisa's digging in my craft closet and she found a whole bucket of paint markers. Oh, I do have thick paper. Yes, thick paper is in this package.
Yeah, I want thick paper.
Okay, but you still have to have something underneath it.
Thick paper under it.
No, it's better if you had like a mat. You used to have like a little princess mat. You used to put things. That's a good idea. Okay.
I use the marker.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, you can stay right here.
Yeah.
All right, it's just like when she was little again, on the floor in my craft room. So I started this YouTube channel. I started it in 2017, but I didn't start doing lives until 2020. And she was 3 years old. And she would come in every time I was doing a live, and she would just sit on the floor and color or play on her tablet or be all in my business. And now that's what we're doing again now, and she's 10. So it's been a journey. Okay, so my monogram is done, and there are some jump stitches between each letter. I'm going to trim those after. Okay, now it's ready to move on to the parts of the floral bit at the bottom with the bow. And I think this is, and see, this is where like I can't really see this that well, and that's when I refer to my computer and look to see what the steps are. So the first steps are the leaves and the stems. So I want to do that in this pretty green color. So I try to be good about wrapping the bottom of my threads around the bottom of the spools to keep them from going everywhere, but then I get sometimes where I can't open the bottom. Okay, so I'm cutting my thread here. I never like to pull my thread out backwards. I cut it and I pull it out from the bottom, but my presser foot is down. My presser foot has to be up for me to pull it out, because there's a tension disc in here, and when your presser foot is down, the tension disc kind of closes. And when you lift your presser foot, it opens the tension disc. So then your thread could pass through it more freely. Also, you may not be able to see on the side here, but I'm using a thread stand. Whenever I'm using a flatbed machine that has these horizontal spool holders, I do not like these. That I always have trouble with the thread not feeding off of it and going in here smoothly. I have tension problems, and I blame this. Now, that's just me. You may love your spool holder, and it may work for you, but mine does not like it. So I use a vertical thread stand, if you could see it here, and I put my spool on it. Thread the machine, lower the presser foot, and then do the needle threader. There we go. And now I can hit start. Okay, now it's going to do the little stems and leaves. And we'll see. Now, between these steps, look, there's a jump stitch. I am going to take this hoop off and cut all those jump stitches before I move on to the next step, because I don't want them to get stitched on top of by the other elements of the design, if that makes sense. So normally when I'm using this machine, I do tend to cut my jump stitches after every step. Okay. Hi, the Scrappy Crafter. We are making an in the hoop bow holder. Where's my sample? It's a fun, very cute. It's Mardi Gras colors. I like it. So this is my test project, and this is a larger version of it. But we're making this in the hoop project, and it's versatile and fun in that, in this case, I have it as a stroller sign. It could be a door hanger. It could be a doorknob hanger for the smaller one. And then for this one today, we're going to add ribbon hanging from the bottom, and it's going to be a bow holder. So you can go and grab the actual frame of the design, the in the hoop frame design, for free on my website. There's a link down below the video. And then if you come back and watch the replay of this class when it's done, the replay will be posted. You can see where I showed you how to personalize it using Embrilliance Essentials. Okay. You see my messy craft room in the background here. Okay. Oh, Norma. She says, I remember when Elise would come in during your lives in 2020. Ladybug. That's all she would say. Yes, she was 3 years old. She would come get in the camera and she would just say, Ladybug, Ladybug, Ladybug. So all my OG ladies that have been watching me since I started, they would always call her Ladybug. Elsa says, do I have a design area for Elise to use in my room? So not really. We are very, very cramped in here. Back when I had my old craft room, we kind of switched things around up here. In my old craft room, I had my craft table, which y'all are see, like my machine is on now, was hooked up to the wall. So it came off the wall and down. Now in this room, I have an island. So it's in the middle of the room. So when I had a little bit more floor space in the other room, I had one of those little kiddie tables and the little kiddie chairs, and she would sit at that and do things. But in here, it's very, very cramped, and she's just sitting on the floor now. But she comes in here and she will stand at the craft table, and we made all kinds of things for school, and she wants to learn more sewing. So we have a goal this summer of learning how we're going to find a pattern, and we're going to make her teddy bear a cute little outfit, like a onesie. So you can see the stems and leaves. There are lots of jump stitches happening in here. So I want to go clean those up now. Okay. So this is a little tedious, and I will tell you, tweezers help a lot. I have to find my tweezers because Abigail always steals them. Also need to find my scissors. Found scissors. I swear I saw my tweezers this morning. Oh, here they are. I dropped them. This smell of catty. I keep everything in so you could see how they're a little hard to find. Normally, I keep them like this so I could see them. They were down in there. Okay. Okay, so tweezers, scissors. And now I'm just gonna try to pick them up with the tweezers. Some of them have already gotten a little bit sewn down, so I'll have to clip around them or try to pull them out from the stitching. But yeah, I did not think about this when I picked this design to do on this machine. I am very spoiled when it comes to my machine cutting jump stitches because the machine I use probably the most is the Stroller. Like when I'm just not doing things for a tutorial, or like I've done most of my quilting projects all on the Stroller, but my Stroller actually needs to be serviced. I have someone coming on Tuesday of next week. You made a butterfly?
Doing finger painting.
Oh, no, no, no. Go wash your hands, please. No finger painting. You are going to touch everything and get paint all over. No, ma'am.
But I like finger paint.
I know you like finger paint.
Do you have any paintbrushes?
That is not finger paint. That is Posca markers. Wait, let me turn. But it's... Okay, wash them good. And rinse the sink real good with all the paint. Oh, my goodness. You think she's 3 years old again now. I look down and I see her hands are blue. I'm like, no. Okay. All right, I think I got all of those. And yeah, so I got someone is coming on Tuesday, and if you're new here, I have a few machines. I have a Brother 6 needle.
You got paintbrushes?
No, we're not doing paintbrushes. I said you could do paint markers.
Paintbrushes.
Not right now, please. Okay. So I have a Brother 6 needle. I have a Ricoma 10 needle. And I have the Stroller. I have the one you see now. I have the NQ 1700E. And I promise you my excuse for having all these is just for teaching. It is strictly for teaching. But I am going to downsize a little bit. I'm actually going to sell my Ricoma 10 needle. And that's why I'm getting it serviced before I sell it. Make sure it's in all good working order. So if you are in Southern Louisiana or even Southern Mississippi, because it's not far of a drive, and are interested in getting a 10 needle Ricoma, send me a message. Okay. I think I got all the jump stitches. Let me go ahead and do the monogram ones while I'm here. Hopefully, I think we're still going to have a lot of oh wait, no, there's more. Jumping back and forth with the flowers and stuff too. So a little time consuming, but not too bad. So there are our stems and leaves. So next is what is next? The pink flowers. So I'm going to change my thread color.
Now I drew a butterfly with the markers.
Very nice.
Can I show?
In a minute. Okay, and now we're stitching. Hold on, hold on. Okay.
Ow.
Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna back up. All right, now put your picture in front of here. That looks like a Mickey.
Yeah, it's Mickey.
That's Mickey. Okay, nice. All right, keep going. Make me something pretty. All right. That is stitching. Oh, still have that up. Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. So Jerry asks, what are some uses for this project when we're finished? So this one's going to be a bow holder. You can make it as a door sign or a door hanger, a stroller sign. And what else we said? We can also have it a sewing clip holder. Could do little skinny strips of ribbon and put our wonder clips on them. So that, I think that's all I got so far, but I'm sure we're going to come up with more. Yay, I'm so excited. Mary made her design in Embrilliance, and it has a baseball bat and lettering, take me out to the ball game, in a Cupid Deluxe font, and it has hearts. Thank you. Yay. I want to see a picture of this, Mary, when you're done. So do me a favor. If you are a member of my Facebook group, go post it in there and tag me in it. Okay. Or if you're on Instagram, tag me in it. My handle is at Carly Bell. Oh, yes, I do the same thing, Sharon. She says she has a little lint roller, and that pulls up all the trim threads as she clips them. I do that too sometimes. I lint rolled my wool mat earlier because I have so many little pieces of thread on it. Okay. Hi, Lynn. Uh-oh, what we got? A thread break. Okay, so I'm gonna hit OK. I see the thread. Okay, let's back up. I see the thread going in the thread path, but I don't see any thread coming out here. 1 second, guys. Hold on. What do you need, sir? Lay down. Sorry, I'm picking up my dog. His legs are too short for him to jump in the bed. So, thread going in here, no thread coming out here. I don't want to pull this backwards, so I'm going to try to feed it out. And I'm going to lift my presser foot. Okay, I could pull it from there because the tension disc's up here. Okay, so it just must have popped for some reason. So I'm going to rethread. Lower. Okay, now I don't know where exactly it stopped stitching. So I'm going to back up probably about 30 stitches. So to do that, I hit the needle plus minus button on my screen. So this is a navigation everyone should know for their machines, how to navigate through the design and stitches. Because when you have needle breaks, thread breaks, bobbin run out, you're going to want to back up stitches. And then there may be times where you want to skip a whole step and you want to know how to do that. So on a brother or baby lock, it's a needle plus minus. And the needles are individual stitches. The spools are entire color steps. So I'm going to hit the -10 button 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And that backs me up 30 stitches. Okay. And let's go. And I'm also paying attention to my thread and my thread holder to make sure nothing, like it's not, seeing if it's not feeding off or get caught up somewhere. So just checking all those things. Oh, that would be cute. Okay, so Amy said, I forgot about this. Someone was suggesting a bridal flower wrap. If you move the buttonholes, you can make it a wrap or a stabilizer holder. Yeah, that's fun. So are you saying move the buttonholes like on these ends instead of the top so it like wrap around? That would be fun. Oh, moving buttonholes is easy, Jerry. Easy, easy. Watch this. So where are we? Here. Okay, I also need to see what's my next step. So we just did this step. Next is white. Oh, I didn't realize I needed white. Or do I want white? How about like a really pale yellow? Do I have a pale yellow? I feel like I don't have a good variation of yellows. Let me look around. I always find colors that I'm like, oh, I really could use more. Oh, wait, I'm looking for my thread box. It's over here. I have thread like spread out all over this room. But then I have another spot under my 6 needle.
Okay, look at my rainbow.
Okay, here's a pretty yellow. This one. I love your rainbow.
I said you can't look at
Oh, I can't look at it. I never looked at it. I did not look at it. I have no clue what it looks like. Okay. I found a yellow. Anyway, my next step is this. Let me thread my machine, but I'm going to talk at the same time. Oh, we need to cut jump stitches anyway. To move the buttonholes, you simply need to select them on the object. This is your objects panel. Somebody is at my front door. Sorry. I'm getting all kind of distractions. That's just a package. Okay. In your objects panel, right here. Well, actually, let's go off of this one because that one was still the digitized version. Okay, so buttonholes are in one step. So this is where it arises a problem because they're in one step. So if I click them, they're both going to move. What I want to do is separate them. So I could maybe move one over here and one over here. So I am going to show you that, but I'm going to wait to show you that until we're at a spot where we're just waiting for the machine to stitch. So then we're not wasting time. Like I'm using my time a little bit more efficiently. Let me say it that way. All right, so we just finished stitching the flowers and we got the same thing with the jump stitches. So just cutting all of these. Okay, I think that's done, all the jump stitches. And then I'm going to put, there's a little center for all these flowers, and I'm going to use this kind of palish yellow. So let's get that set up. And change thread color. We already pulled that out. Okay. Little presser foot, thread needle, and go. All right, that is stitching. Now we can go back to Embrilliance. Now these are going to be dense spots because there's already flowers there. So I can feel like my stuff is like pulling up, so don't be too concerned. I mean, I'm always concerned when my machine is making noises, but See how it's getting kind of stuck? That's because it's already kind of dense right there. I would say you could possibly even skip this step if you don't want the little center. Okay. What do we do? We are going to Embrilliance. Now, these buttonholes are together in one step. So I want to separate them. To tell my software and my machine to separate them, I need them to be different colors. So what I need to do is somehow highlight just this buttonhole and change the color. And then it will be two separate steps. And then I can move them independently. All right, my stitching is already done. So we're going to pause the Embrilliance again and cut jump stitches. It's our little yellow circles. Wait, wrong hands. Elise, could you please go get Ozzy? Elise, you hear me? She's got her headphones in.
What?
Can you please go get Ozzy?
Again?
Again. Somebody rang the doorbell and that just ruined his whole life. And I said, somebody rang the doorbell and that just ruined everything. And he had to jump out the bed. We got a package. We'll go check it later. But that made Ozzy jump out the bed.
Markers are dried out.
And now he's crying. Okay, that's done.
Mom.
Yes.
Guess what color purple is?
What color? What do you talk about? Purple what?
The purple marker.
The purple marker. It's blue. You got marker all over your arm, girl.
No, look. Look at me.
Huh?
Look at me, Megan.
Oh, that's not blue. Yeah. Those markers are super staining. So like it's going to be hard to get that off your skin. So I just
That's okay, because I don't really use those.
okay. I would stay away from those. Those markers are not kid friendly. Okay. My next step. Let me check Embrilliance because I can't see on my tiny screen. What is this? This is more green. These are, okay, these are little, we're going back to green. And they're more adding like little green pieces underneath the flower bud that it couldn't stitch before because it needs to be layered a certain way.
Where's the rest of your thick paper? I need another one.
I put the whole stack on the floor somewhere.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll help you find it in a second. Oh wait, I need to, it is up, okay. Okay, this might be another instance where it's going to be a little dense, possibly. Okay, while that's stitching, I'm going to go move the dog. Oh, he's going downstairs. Go, Ozzy, go. 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 He just needs a little encouragement. Okay. All right, that's stitching. And that's probably not going to take long. So let's get these flowers done and then I'm going to go back to Embrilliance. Okay, we'll cut the jump stitches again. I think that was the only one. Yeah. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and the next step is the purple. And I'm using the same purple as I did the monogram. And if I wanted to, I could have made it to where the monogram stitched the order, like the order on the side of the screen where you can change it up. I could have made it to where the monogram stitched right after these flowers. So that would reduce my color changing. But but I did not think about that when we were doing it. Wait, I still got the green thread in. There we go. Thread, lower, go. All right, maybe while these flowers are stitching, we have some time to go back to Embrilliance. Okay, we were talking about how to separate these buttonholes. If you have essentials, you can do this by using the Stitch Simulator tool. If you have Enthusiast, it's even easier by using the Stitch Edit tool. And both of these, I have lessons on both of these in my courses. So I have a lesson on how to do this in my Essentials course, and I have a lesson on how to do it in my Enthusiast course. But briefly, what we're going to do is hit Stitch Simulator. This is the last step of the design. So this shows you all your colors, and this teal green is at the end. I'm going to fast forward this until I get to my buttonholes. And what I want to do is I want to find the stitch point where it stops stitching this and it jumps to the other one. I'm just going to drag this until it jumps. Oh, there it goes. See, it jumped right there. And I can back up, go forward and backward individual stitches here. So I'm going to back up. Oh, there it is. It's the last stitch there. And that's what I want. I want it to be on the last stitch of this one. And then I'm going to hit this red stop sign button, and that is going to create a color stop. So anything after this stitch, I change the color, and I can pick it to be whatever color I want. And now my buttonholes are separated, and I have one here and one here. What do you need?
Find the paper now. It's nowhere.
Okay, hold on. Right here. And you're going to get paint all over your pajamas by it being on your hands and then you touching your pajamas. Just want you to know that. Here. Okay. Sorry. Helping Elise. Okay. So now we have two separate buttonholes. So now I can grab this one. Wait. I need to select it here. I can go to my select tool. I can rotate it. So you see these arrows? These are rotation arrows. So now I rotate it. And I can go and put it here. And then I could take this one. Still have to select it here. Okay. I'm going to rotate it. And select it and move it here. And this is when you can use Enthusiast Precise Positioning to make sure they're centered. Or there's an option in Essentials. Highlight both of them. And we have Align and Distribute. And we can center them. With this one, I always pick the wrong thing. Vertically. No, we want it horizontally. The pictures are deceiving to me. Let's try this. There we go. I didn't see it move, but now it is centered this way. And I got them both. So now they're both going to move since they're both selected and highlighted. And now I can do that and make this into the cute floral wrap idea. I love that idea. That's super cute. Okay, and we finished just in time because the purple flowers just finished stitching. And we can cut the jump stitches. This is turning out so cute. So this is the first time I'm stitching this floral design. This first time I bought from this particular designer on Etsy. So I am very much liking it. There's a few jump stitches here that probably could have been avoided if it was digitized a little bit differently. That's one thing I look for, like in quality designs. I look at it from the judgment point of someone whose machine does not cut jump stitches. Because I like it when people take that into consideration, because cutting jump stitches is not fun. but these little purple flowers, they do have to have jump stitches between them because of the space between them. I don't think it could have been avoided, actually. Okay, that's good enough. All right, some jump stitches you can leave because they're just so close together. No one's going to notice them. All right, going back to the machine, and we're getting there, getting closer. Next step is some more little, I never even noticed these when I was first looking at the design. Let me show you. This is the next step. It's these little balls. So I never even noticed these previously. So they have them as a white. So I will get some white thread. Let's do it. Where's my white thread? Have it on another machine. Oh, this would be pretty. Instead of white, let's do the silvery color. Okay, so I'm going to use this kind of silvery color instead of white since I'm doing this on white fabric. I think that will stand out a little bit more. Okay, and then after this, we stitch the bow, and then we'll be done with all the inner design work, and we can move on to actually finishing constructing in the hoop part. All right, I have a feeling this one may be, depending on if it's going over other spots, it might be a little dense. Let's see. Okay, so Elsa says, does that hoop lifting happen with all the machine? Are you talking about when I have to like lift it up to make sure the hoop doesn't pop off of the brackets? Or are you talking about where it's a little bit dense in some spots and so you see the material like coming up with it? Okay. Oh, Mary has a good question. Can you make this design into a patch with Embrilliance or Enthusiast? Yes. I mean, let me come back to you on that. Because there's different ways you can consider this a patch, but yes, definitely. Okay. We're finished with those little additions, and now we have some jump stitches.
How long is the rest of your life?
We still have a bit left to do.
How long?
I can't tell you. I'm very bad at judging time. She wants to know, how much longer do we have left?
I want to go back Quincy. I
know you want to go back Quincy. I'm going to bring you when I'm done. Okay. I'm just cutting all of these little jump stitches. And so y'all see now why I'm pausing to cut them in between each step instead of trying to cut them when I'm all done, because you can see like this would be what I would call a cluster. If all those things were going back and forth on top of each other, I like to trim in between. Okay, we are now ready for the actual cute bow. And that I'm doing in a mint color. Okay, making sure my hoop stays on. That was what somebody asked a second ago, but it was Elsa. Okay, where's my mint thread? All right, got my mint thread. we do the bow. Okay, let's get back to the patch question. So Embrilliance makes a software program called Patch Artist, where you can turn any design into a patch. And it's a beautiful program. And like, let's see if we can do this. Where, say, I wanted, let me just copy the bits of this that I want. Okay, the shape, monogram, the floral. Just those things. Okay, I'm gonna hit copy, open a new screen, paste. All right. Now, because I have Patch Artist, I could go to Utility, Add Patch Edge, and I'm gonna hit Page Wrap. So it should take the shape of this shape, like that. All right. Now, I could essentially just delete this one step here. Because I just was using that so that I can get my patch edge to be that shape. So I'm gonna hit delete. And then maybe make this patch edge, because it does an offset, so I'm make it a little bit smaller so it's more like the shape. Why are you not going in? I'm trying to reduce the size, but it's like my computer's being slow. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Here you can use these scissors. Be careful because it's still wet, right? Okay. So with Patch Artist, it gives you the traditional marrow shape, marrow style stitching that you see with patches. Okay. So that has that. And then you have options, if you go to interactive, of the style of patch. So it could be one that you use fabric under it. It can be, you can make it to where it is made entirely of thread, so there's no fabric in it. So all of this is like a really dense fill stitch. You stitch your design on top of it, and then it stitches the patch edge on it. And then when you're done, you would add some adhesive, iron-on adhesive to the back, or you sew it on a project. So that is what I think of with a traditional patch. However, I think you could also take this design as it is, with instead of having a narrow patch edge, you can do the satin patch edge. Thank you. That's really pretty. Okay, thank you. And it would kind of be the same concept of what we're doing right now, pretty, where we're stitching it on water soluble, stable, wash away stabilizer. And I could not add anything to the back, do my satin stitching, and it could serve as a patch as well. So I think, yes, for both ways, you wouldn't even need specialty software if you wanted to do it that way. So like now we are done with the personalization. So if I just wanted to make this a patch, I would trim all this fabric right on this placement line, stitch my satin stitching, and then the stabilizer will dissolve, and you can add whatever kind of iron-on adhesive to the back, and that essentially could be a patch as well. I think of like any applique could be turned into a patch, really, with a satin stitch finishing stitch. Okay, this bow did stitch a little funny in that it has a lot of jump stitches.
Mama, now I'm making butterfly and you can't see it.
Butterfly, thank you. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. Blue butterfly.
Okay, and I missed, oh, there we go. Okay. So we are done with all of our personalization. Now we are ready for the rest of the construction of the in the hoop. In this case, is a bow holder. Okay. Now the next stitch is one that's going to help tack down your foam. Okay. We don't need a placement stitch. We already have one. But what we're going to do now, I have all these tails here. Let me just trim. Is we are going to add foam to the back and we're going to tape it in place. So let me get my foam. Okay. And do the same thing I do with the fabric. See how big of a piece I need. Now, if you want to use batting for this step, you can use batting. And I like this because it gives it a little bit more structure. That's why I'm doing this. Okay. So I have my foam. I've cut it to be a little bit bigger. Now, when I have my hoop upside down like this, I don't want to push this and have pressure added to it because I could accidentally pop the front hoop out. So be careful when you're doing this. We're going to lay the foam on top. It's covering all of, we already had a placement stitch kind of there working for us. And I have some tape. And I'm going to tape the corners of this. I'm not going to put too much pressure. I'm adding the tape. And these pieces are too short. Let me get a new one. I'm laying it, and then what I'm going to do now is turn my hoop over. And now I'm going to press where that tape was. And I'm not looking. And make sure it's good and on there. But I have it like touching the corners of the hoop. Okay, so this is going to help secure the foam on the back of the hoop. And now it's going to tack it down, but I did make this tack it down line to be a smidge inside of this shape. Because when you cut the foam, I didn't want it to accidentally poke out on the edges when we're all done. So this tack down stitch is a smidge inside. Oh, back up. Here we go. So when I'm placing this on my machine, I want to make sure this doesn't, like the tape is holding it and it's staying where it's supposed to. Okay. And I can't see without putting my head in front of the camera. There we go. Okay. Make sure my hoop is on there. Good. All right. Now, this has made my project thicker. My presser foot might be pressing into this and it might be causing drag underneath. So I just want to pay attention. If you have a machine that you have an adjustable height for your presser foot, you may want to raise it a smidge because we're adding some thickness. Oh, I love that. That's super cute. Okay, here's the butterfly. And
I cut out butterfly too.
I like it. Let it dry. Super cute.
Somebody said you could use felt as well.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Okay, we're on the stitch. Lower the presser foot.
I love the butterfly.
I love the butterfly too. I like how you did it in two different color blues. Okay, I'm watching this. And the foam is staying, so it's good. Okay. I didn't change my thread color. Again, all of this is going to get hidden. So you can do these steps in any thread color you want. But I am going to do my frame in the pink. Okay. Now we're going to raise the presser foot. Take it off. And now we can see our foam is attached to the back. And now that gives us that cushion look but my stitches aren't sinking into the foam. But again, this is all going to be preference on the look you're going for. Okay, a little thread tail. Now we're going to turn this over, take the tape. Like these pieces of tape are not sticky anymore, so I'm going to toss these. Okay, and we are going to use our scissors and we're going to trim this just like an applique. And you're going to try to get as close to the stitch line as possible. And sometimes I do accidentally snip, like I did right here, my stitches. It's okay. It's going to get stitched over again, and the satin stitches are really going to secure it. But I do try not to cut them. Oh, I cut them again. The foam is a little harder. So I really don't want that poking out of my design when it's done. So I really want to make sure I'm getting it as close as I can. Okay, so that is trimmed. Now, the next step is to tack down our back fabric. And I've already misplaced my back fabric. Here it is. All right, so I need to cut another piece. This one I'm not worrying about interfacing. This is just to cover up the back. So now we have this back piece and we're covering it up just like we did the foam and taping it down. Again, being careful not to put too much pressure.
Done.
Done?
Done.
Let me see. Beautiful. Don't get your paint fingers on my white fabric.
Butterfly.
Butterfly.
Whee.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to bring it over to the machine and it's going to tack that down just like it did the foam.
Is the foam very different from craft foam?
It's maybe a little bit more cushiony, as Elise likes to call it. I find craft foam is a little denser, but that is also an option.
Yeah,
Again, this is me just trying. I didn't move Rainbow. You did. I don't know. This is just me trying to give it a little bit more structure. So again, we're putting our hoop back on. We want to make sure our bottom fabric did not move. It's still taped in place. Okay. And lower presser foot and go. Okay. Now, when this step is done, then I'm going to trim everything, front and back. Could have trimmed this at the beginning, but I decided just to wait. But before we do that final satin stitch, you do need to make sure everything is trimmed, because that's what's going to make the the wash away stabilizer really do its job. Oh, pretty.
And the butterfly right there.
I love it. Thank you. She
At the end of the live,
she put her pictures on the pegboard behind me. Okay. So now we have our back fabric is attached. And she's dancing. Okay. So now we're trimming the front and the back. And we're just trimming that fabric, not cutting into our stabilizer.
Can I use some tape to keep the stuff in place?
What stuff?
This stuff.
This stuff. Don't waste all my tape.
I'm not wasting it.
Okay. She's gone through a whole roll of tape before.
No, not.
Mm-hmm.
No, not. I just use it to keep my pictures in place on the wall.
Okay. That tape is not super sticky. It's made to be able to sew through it. So if something's not sticking, you need to go get regular tape. Oh, I forgot to do a step. Poopy. I can fix it though. I thought I turned my phone off.
Somebody call it Mom.
Okay.
Who is that?
I have no clue.
It's Numbers.
Okay.
It's Numbers.
The name is Numbers. I forgot to do a very critical step, and that was add the ribbon. But it's okay. I'm going to fix it.
Do you have a favorite embroidery machine?
If I had to pick my favorite right now, it would be my bigger version of this machine. It's a Brother Stroller, and it's a sewing embroidery
Mickey
combo.
Mouse.
Yeah, and it has Mickey Mouse.
That's my
on it.
favorite too.
Okay, I forgot a very critical step, and that was to add the ribbon.
I do.
So I am going to undo these stitches right here, and we're going to redo this step. Just the stitch step, because I need to add my ribbon. I'm just putting my scissors in between the foam and the fabric just to snip these stitches. These are just a running stitch, so they should not be that much trouble. Okay. And I don't need to unstitch the whole thing, but I am going to do up the side here. Because we are making a bow holder. If we were making the stroller sign, then we would just keep going as normal. But because I want this one to be a bow holder, I want to add ribbon. Okay.
Oh, look, I taped the back.
Oh, okay, that's a good idea.
It'll stay there because the rainbow.
So I'm going to need some tape too. Okay, what did I
do? It to the butterfly too.
I think I did 18 inches of ribbon.
Got it.
Okay, I need you to move out the way.
Okay.
18 inches of ribbon.
It's put in my butterfly.
I'm sorry, we need to measure. 18. And oh, I don't have 18 of this one. Man. Okay. Maybe let's see if I have 18 of this one. Yes, I have a lot of this one. Okay, we'll use this one instead.
Okay, I changed the butterfly. So
it's not going to be as cute as I wanted, though.
So it's flying.
It's flying. Is this going to look good? This will still look good underneath it. Oh, yeah. That will be cute. Paint hands. Go over there. Stop touching my stuff. Paint hands.
Is this coffee?
Yes, it's coffee.
I drink it?
Move. You're not drinking my coffee. No, ma'am. Okay.
Oh, Mama, I saw your live and you had like 83 people watching it.
Wonderful.
Earlier, like yesterday, you just had 26.
Yeah, the sew-alongs. Not everybody watches the sew-alongs. Because not everybody wants to do that. Okay.
The only sew-alongs I like to do is the sewing classes.
Yes. Okay. 2 pieces for this in this case. If you're stitching a bigger version, you can probably fit 3 or 4 of these ribbons coming down. The 4x4 version may only look good with 1 piece coming down. So this is all, again, going to be up to you and what you want to do. I'm going to do 2, and I'm going to have them come down between these humps here. Watch out, watch out.
This one?
We're making that, but a different way.
We're
going to put the ribbon where the right side is down, and I'm going to tuck it in here, and I am eyeballing that I kind of have them spaced. And I'm looking at this and where the ribbon's falling, something like that. I'm taking my pin and I'm going to use some tape, and this tape is just going to end up staying inside of here, and that's fine. Tape that in place.
There you go.
Okay.
I got pin on.
You got my pin? That's cute.
Show? Show it?
Wait, you can't show it right now. Oh, there's the pin. Okay.
Oh, people said stuff.
People said stuff?
Yeah. Somebody said,
right
hello,
there.
Al. Somebody said, hi, Jess Craft Therapy. Hey, quote wrench QW.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There we go. I've taped those in there. It's okay if I don't have them lined up this way. I can cut the bottoms to make sure they're even after. Don't press the mouse.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know it was connected to the computer.
Yes, they usually are. Okay. So before you lay your back fabric down, if you would like to add ribbon, tape your ribbon in place. Another option is, okay, I have 2 long pieces coming down. Okay, right side down. If I wanted to have the loop at the top, I would put it face down, looping face down here and have that incorporated, but I'm gonna do the buttonholes instead. So that's another thing to think about. If you do want the loop, you would tape it inside like that, okay?
You have short hair.
I have short hair.
It's not long, but it's not short.
And let me look at
Ooh,
this.
pretty.
And make sure I like it. Okay, move your hand. Thank you. I'm just making sure these look right from the front, like where they're coming out. Okay. Now, let me do this. Okay. I am going to add some tape here and here because I don't want this to move. And I also, it's going to have to go, because of the orientation of this, I got to watch that the ribbons stay out of the way of the pegs attaching too. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the machine and restitch that step. So now it's going to tack in my ribbon, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to trim this back piece of fabric. Okay. So sorry if I messed up anybody with confusing them because of this. But yeah, I was supposed to add the ribbon, but luckily I noticed it before we started doing the satin stitching. Okay, so there's my ribbon, making sure it's staying where it's supposed to. And it's kind of complicated because it's hanging where the pegs are. But I want to make sure it doesn't get caught up in the stitching underneath. So I gotta fold this one like this. So when I made my sample, I did it on my free arm machine, so it wasn't an issue. So now that I'm doing it on the flatbed machine, so I'm watching these two pieces here and make sure they stay out of the way. As long as this stitch line is happening, maybe in the future, I would rotate this and make it to where this is the top, this is the bottom, and the ribbon pieces are going that direction. But if you do ribbon on both sides, either way, something's gonna happen on this side. Okay, I need to back up. So I'm gonna hit my needle plus minus and hit my spool minus. And now I'm back to this tack down stitch, lower and go. Okay, see this moving. Pause the machine. Okay, I need to do this better. Needs to be pulled this way. Okay, let me cut. Cutting. Let me figure out a better way. Because I can't have it folded back this way because then it will get tacked down. So I need to have it folded almost like bunched up right here. Need a new piece of tape. Okay, let me take this back to the craft table and reevaluate. Okay, what I'm trying to do is make this guy stay here. But I really need this to like go off to the side like that without it touching this edge. Something like that, and then secure it. And it's okay if it stitches through the tape. That is okay. I have these going in the right direction, right? Okay. I might even need to pin this because the tape is not holding it. Pins. Now it's not going to move. And it's like just on the edge. Actually, I need to move it away more because the satin stitching is going to get more. There we go. This is what I get for doing my test run on the free arm machine and not the flatbed machine, because there's always different complications that can happen depending on the machine. Okay, that should keep it out the way now. I feel better about that. Okay, let's go back to the machine now and try. Okay, so I did actually start stitching, but because if I was really worried, I would start this stop over again. But because this part is actually already tacked down, it was just down here where I took the stitching out. I'm just going to let it start again. And again, I'm going to keep track of these and make sure nothing's getting stitched on. That's not supposed to be. Okay. So now we need to still trim the back fabric. Okay. Oh, good idea. Eartha said she would pin it from the front so these won't rub against the bottom of the machine and scratch them. Very good idea. I will do that. So I'm going to take all this tape off. So now this is incorporated into the stitch here. So you see how it's in there now? That's what we wanted. And this has been tacked down. And now we can trim this back fabric. Ozzy's back. My dog is special. Okay. Now, when we get to the part where the ribbon is, we have to be careful that we don't cut the ribbon. Don't need that no more. Okay, so this part right here, I want to make sure I'm lifting my fabric and not cutting my ribbon. Okie dokie. So none of this tape is doing anything anymore. I also got like a mark on the ribbon from it rubbing on the spot where the hoop hooks. Let's see if that comes off. Okay, so this is what we're left with now. Okay, we have our frame is done. Our foam is added. Our ribbon is incorporated. And our back, that's cute. Our back fabric is there covering all of our embroidery stitches. So the next two steps are the satin stitch outline. The satin stitch is going to stitch through the ribbon right here. Okay, that's okay. So you're going to do
showing us newbies that even experienced embroideries can struggle at times.
Oh, girlfriend, I struggle all the time. There is always a struggle. Even when you think you know how to do everything, your things happen. Like your things mess up, or you don't think about things fully. It's not until you're stitching it that you're like, oh, wait a second, this is not working the way I planned on. So
and I did that one too.
Beautiful, thank you. All right, so the next step is a satin outline, okay? And then the buttonholes. The buttonholes are going to go through everything, and that's going to allow you to add a hole for your ribbon to go through. Can you please go help Ozzy?
Okay,
and
but
actually
my hands are all
do
painty,
it.
so I gotta get paint on Ozzy.
I don't care if you get paint on Ozzy at this point. Please help him. Okay, the buttonholes are going to go through everything. Yeah! Elise. She's my wild child. All right, so what I need to do is pin this, but I'm going to pin it from the front like Eartha suggested. That's a good idea. And I have some good news after I get this started. To share with you. I lost my pen. Oh, here it is.
He loves the stairs, but he can't go down the stairs.
I don't know. He's a very special dog. He didn't want to go in Abigail's bed?
No, I put him downstairs.
Okay. If he comes up here crying again, you know he wants to go be in Abigail's bed. I'm trying to do this without popping my hoop out. Okay, so there's my ribbons. I'm going to have these going to the side. And so it will do the satin stitching and not catch this. All right. In the meantime, have something good to show you.
Let me see.
I tried to think about this like a cooking show because that satin stitching is going to take a very long time. So I have one already done so you can see.
Can I cut it? Can I cut it?
No, we're not. Hold on. Hold your horses. Okay.
You know what that means? When they say that, they're saying you need to be stable.
You need to be stable?
Like horses go in a stable.
No, you need to slow down.
No.
Can I please finish my class? I'm almost done.
Maybe.
Okay. So yesterday I stitched this out and I stopped. I didn't finish it. So like all I've done is those 2 steps that I told you about. The satin stitching and the buttonholes. Okay. And you can see this on here. All right. And the ribbon is coming out the bottom. And I did this on the free arm machine. So like I said, I didn't have to worry about this guy getting in the way of anything. So that's why I didn't think about it today. You're going to hurt your fingers doing that. It's going to pinch. You stop then. She's playing with my sew tights.
I remember several very fun summers sewing in the sewing room while listening to the Harry Potter books on tape. Now the kids are all grown up and I have begged them to come
visit her.
Me. So cute.
Yay. Okay. So this is the wash away stabilizer.
Can I cut it?
Stop. Chill. I need, you know what I need for you to do for me?
Yeah.
Go put a little bit of water in this.
Why do we need water?
Because this is going to dissolve.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she loves that. Okay. Go put some water in there. All right. This does wash away. It doesn't tear that easy though. So it's like you can't really tear this away. If you use tear away stabilizer, it will tear away. So that is perfect. Thank you. I will tell you when. Let me get it ready.
Wait, I just cut up a little bit of it and I try it. I test it.
Don't cut your fingers. Okay.
It's disappearing stuff.
It disappears in the water. I'm going to try to trim this as close as I can without, compromising my stitches. So like a 1/4 of an inch away, because I don't want a ton of this hanging off because it gets all goopy and gooey, which is why Elise likes it.
I put the rest of it in water?
No, it's going to get all gooey.
I need a towel. Can I use it as a towel?
No, it does not work as a towel. It dissolves with water. Go get a paper towel.
It worked as a towel.
Okay.
I just wiped my hand on it. I get some.
Mm-hmm. Okay, again, being mindful of your ribbon. We don't want to cut the ribbon. Cut from this side. On. No, we can't. It's sewn in.
Oh. So if we cut the ribbon, it's all gone?
Well, yeah, it kind of messes it up.
The whole thing? We have to restart?
You could figure out I'm sure, figure out some solution. Don't put all that in there.
Oh, I was planning on doing that.
Goodness gracious. I'm going to need a new thing of water now because that one's going to be all gooey.
Don't worry, I'll do
it. Okay. So we have trimmed as much of the wash away stabilizer as possible. Okay. Now, all I do is wet my finger and I just rub the edges. You can also use a Q-tip. After I've wet it just a little bit, that's okay. It pulls away pretty easily. Go get me a paper towel, actually. There's some on the shelf where your towels are. Oh, my goodness. Oh, this is all gooey. All right. So you could see what I'm doing here.
Imagine drinking this water. That'd be really, really
the edges.
lucky.
You could also dip it in there. But I
did that one time.
I'm trying not.
It got the fabric wet.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get my fabric all wet.
I remember when you first bought this stuff and I tested it out.
Mm-hmm. And you got paint hands as well.
Yeah. Even better.
Even better. Okay. So
I go wash my hands.
Go wash your hands. That would be great. Okay, so y'all can see what I'm doing here. And what you're going to be left with is a nice clean edge with no stabilizer showing through. Okay. That's why I prefer this stabilizer over tearaway.
But I still have marker on my hand.
We'll go.
Oh, can I do that bit?
No, let me do it.
I go refill your water.
Okay.
What?
Nothing.
Why am I so funny?
Because you're a mess.
I got it from you.
She gets it from me. That's what she says. Every time I call her a mess, she goes, I get it from you. She does. She really does. Okay. I need a towel.
It's bubbly.
Oh, great. Okay.
Can I do it?
No, I'm
I
trying.
want to try.
I'm trying not to get it. You got paint hands. No, ma'am. You are going to get paint on this.
I do it on the other scrap.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it.
Okay, read the comments for me. What are people saying?
Just one. Thank you. I have so many ideas for how to use this. I'm looking forward to your embroiderance class.
Embroidery. Thank you. Oh, Embrilliance class. Yay. Thank you, Sharon.
Is that the lady that sent me the card?
No. That was Terry.
Is she in the live?
I don't know if Terry's here. So Terry is a member of my...
I remember hearing the word Sharon a lot.
Yeah. Terry is a member... I need to go wash my hands now. Of my VIP membership group. And there was a class that I taught.
Give me soap.
And something... Oh, here. Elise was sick. And she was home from school when I was teaching a class.
Give me a towel.
And Terry was so sweet. She embroidered a get well soon card and sent it in the mail to Elise. And
it was a card and it had sewed words on it.
Yeah, it was embroidered. It was really pretty.
Okay.
And
it had a sun on it.
So here is the bow holder. All that's left now. Stop jumping around crazy.
I'm dancing.
I need my seam ripper. Okay, seam ripper. And I'm just going to poke a hole in between the buttonhole section.
Can I do that?
No, I don't want you to poke yourself.
Mm-hmm. I test it?
No, this can hurt you. I'm even scared of it. Okay. Once I get that, then I kind of just rip until I get to the other end.
Wait, you're ripping the fabric? I thought you
Yeah,
made it.
I'm making a hole. And I'm trying not to rip my stitches. I'm trying to rip the fabric.
Oh, doesn't that thing have the other end?
That's the other one I have. One side. No, it's the wooden one. Okay, so I have a hole there. Thank you.
You're welcome. What? Do not say that.
You're so helpful.
I know, right?
I could feel the gooey from the stabilizer. There we go.
I'm testing it.
Okay, watch your fingers while I'm using this. Okay, that's done. Put that away.
There we go.
Okay, so now we have buttonholes.
I tweezels it.
And I can probably hit this with a stop, with a lighter to get any of the frays.
You need me to go get one?
And we can... My hands are still sticky.
Where's the other scissors? There they are.
I could probably use I would use thinner ribbon maybe for this one. Don't. Go pick me out some thinner ribbon.
Okay, I am.
Some that's not so wide.
Wait, why?
And because this ribbon's too wide to go through the top.
So
I want some.
Start the whole thing?
No, I just want something half the size. So you can.
I did not want you to restart it.
One thing we can do with this one.
Pink ribbon?
Yeah, pink works.
I need scissors.
Here.
Give me.
With this one, if I wanted it to be like a hanger of sorts, what I could do is have it go through the buttonhole on both sides and tie a knot on this side.
Paris scissors?
The Paris scissors. You stole them from me, didn't you?
I don't think so.
Oh, this works. Good job, Elise.
Is it too long?
A little bit, but that's okay.
I'll cut it.
No, don't cut it.
Okay.
Let me figure it out first. Okay, so
I
it
like
can
the
go
color.
here. I like the color
And
too.
it matches that one.
That does look really good. Okay, so we could do something like this.
We put it on the door.
And you put it on the door, and you could just tie a knot on this
I
side.
tie it.
Tie a knot, yes. Don't get your paint fingers touching my white fabric.
There you go. I did.
Okay, now you can clip. There you go, and right here.
I cut hair.
Okay, thank you. Yay. Okay.
I like the. Can I put the ribbon at the bottom?
Do you want
and
people
bow?
to see you right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care.
She's still in her pajamas. All right. So this is.
I tie it.
The finished bow. No, we don't tie it. Go get some bows to clip to it.
Oh, I have those.
So this is the finished bow holder. All right. Thread from the back and tie the ribbon in a bow and hang from a bow. There we go. They got lots of, here we go. So put this down.
But they're tied like this because I do it when I put them in the container so it fits better.
Clip.
But they're really pretty bows. I undo it.
Okay. So here. So we could
look. I like long bows.
Do this.
Hey. Can't really see it.
You're doing good. There we go. So all her bows have tails on it, but when she was little, she just had little bows, and you can clip them all the way down
because they're like as long as my hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is gonna be from Maisie.
For Maisie?
Mm-hmm.
When are we giving it to them?
Either I'll mail it to her or the next time we go to St. Louis. It's my goddaughter.
They live in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And we went over there and we saw the big tall circle.
Arch.
Big tall circle.
Circle. It's the arch. Okay, let me finish up my class now.
Oh, you're done?
I'm almost done, yes.
Yay.
Yay. Okay. So any questions?
I show the rainbow stuff?
Yeah. Okay.
Rainbow?
She's the star.
And butterfly.
Okay.
You zoom in the camera?
No, I can't zoom in.
I'm horsey.
Let me finish. All right. So yay. Okay. So everybody's saying they love it. Earth is going to make one for her granddaughter.
Ooh, somebody.
Vicky says too cute. I wish I had time to tackle learning enthusiasts right now. So I have a course for enthusiasts. And when you buy my courses, they are lifetime access. So I pre-make all my courses. So we don't have, all these kinds of things. So they're all pre-recorded and you can watch them whenever you have time. They're kind of like on demand and you have access to them whenever. So you can watch them now, refer to them again next year, or if you don't have time right now, later on, next year, whenever, then you could sit and watch them. So that's one thing with all of my
the camera goes opposite.
embroidery courses.
It goes that way.
Yes, it goes opposite. Okay.
I raise this hand, it goes
Yay.
that hand.
Okay, Sharon, I'm so excited. Yay. Okay, so that is it for today, guys. Remember, you can incorporate the ribbon however you want to and do better than me where you remember to add it before you add the fabric.
This one's puffy.
If they're both puffy. They both have foam. Stop, please.
Somebody said nice bow holder. Love it. And then it's a flower.
It's Elsa. Yeah. And then this one is just no ribbon is incorporated whatsoever. So you just stitch it as it is and add the ribbon after to make it a stroller sign, a door sign,
I have a little bit of
whatever you want. And again, you can totally skip the buttonholes if you want to and incorporate a looped ribbon into the frame. She stole some of my stuff yesterday, my flexi foam.
No, it's puffy.
The scrap. It's puffy. Okay. All right, guys. So that is it for today. This
you
is
talk like that a lot.
What?
All right, guys.
That's how I talk. Leave me alone. That's it for today. I will not be back again for Sip and Stitch until August when she goes back to school.
Ow.
Yay.
I don't like when you scratch my head.
I'm sorry. But I will still be having my VIP membership classes. Ooh, the design. Thank you for reminding me. Norma.
Thank you, Carly.
Okay. I am on.
Thank you. I'm reading comments.
With summer coming, I always think of Disney because we like to go to Disney World.
Did we
and
go
so
No, we go Disney.
This is an option for Disney.
Disney.
For
Disney.
my VIP
Disney.
members, stop it. Oh, go find me some Mickey ears.
Disney has some.
Okay. Okay. If you are frequent at Disney, this is an in the hoop mouse ear holder. Okay. Okay, so mouse ears. I love mouse ears.
No, they're not mouse ears.
They're Minnie Mouse ears.
Mouse.
They hurt my
they're
head.
Not mouse ears.
Because they're headbands, right?
They're Mickey Mouse
So
ears.
some people that wear them in the park, like it gets to a point where they're hurting their head and they want to take them off, but they still want to display them and then be cute. So you can snap them into
Minnie Mouse. Oh, I have a Minnie Mouse.
The holder.
I have this sparkly Minnie Mouse purse.
And then hook this to your purse or your backpack. And so then, you know, they're so cute and you could see them. So this was something I saw my aunt.
Sparkly Minnie Mouse purse.
Yes, so she could snap that to there and still have her mouse ears to it.
Since you have a big one.
Yeah.
Pink one.
Okay, let me talk. This was something I saw a while back and I thought it was the cutest thing ever. So this is what we are going to be making in the VIP group. It's going to be your free design download for the month. So my VIP members, they get a design from me every month, and we do a Zoom class teaching them step by step how to make the design, or sometimes we do Zoom classes on stitch artists or even like quilting and sewing projects as well. So this is your free design for the month. And as far as specialty materials, I am using faux leather vinyl and a snap. So if you have a snap press, and then keychain hardware. Okay.
Thank you so much, Carly and Elise. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Everyone happy stitching.
Okay. So, all right. So this is VIP next week. Also next week, we are going to be finishing the Star Spangled Beauty ladder quilt. I'll be live on the YouTube channel for that as well. All right. So thanks so much. I know this was a super long class. I'm really glad I stitched this one ahead of time because it takes forever for that final satin stitch to go. But I hope y'all all have a great weekend, and maybe I will see some of y'all guys next week. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.